Hello, everybody, and happy Fragment Friday. We are on Shining Darkness today. Keywords downright soppy Manir. Level 52 field should be a bit of a challenge for us. Let's see how we can handle it. Or rather, if. Rainy field inside, rainy world outside. Got Ida passing just to the south here. Really rainy day. Started yesterday, just continuing through today, so kind of a fitting field weather here. Like I said, it is a level 52 field. We ourselves are only level 46, but it's a water element field. The hope is we could run into things like this miasma wyvern and get some elemental hits off with Crim's spear. If not, we could always retreat and cast some spells, throw some bats at the wyverns, and take care of things that way. Picking up some quality experience there, 14 a pop, and as long as we're facing wyverns, we should be in good shape. Even better shape if we're facing risky treasures. That just takes a fortune wire, and hey, what do you know, Stone Greaves coming out of it. Got a Spring of Mist here, but we're more interested in the portal at the moment. Oh, that's no good. It's what, Earth Maiden, okay. Napalon almost takes us out there. Really want to take care of this maiden before they get the chance to put us to sleep. Oh, there's two maidens. Okay, that's even worse news. Didn't even see where it went to. That is a shifty, shifty lady there. Hiding out right by the spring. We got poisoned. Not the worst of our troubles. Go ahead and take out this Napalon. They're not the biggest problems in the world, but they can heal other monsters. And now that we're down to just the Miasma Wyvern, we'll just cast from a distance, take it out nice and efficient. One more to go. Let's pop a Mage's Soul and get the kill. Here's our antidote, and against better judgment, I'll go ahead and throw something in this here Spring of Mist. Let's try a Stone Greaves. Why not? We just picked it up. It's within 4 levels of the field. If anything, this level 3 Grandpa should be able to do something with it. Nope. Still too strong. So we're going to be sent back on our way with the Stone Greaves, and now a lovely set of gold and silver axes to go with. That takes care of the spring. Still a ton of portals to go here. Ooh. Accidentally moved close enough to open one up about the time I realized that Riggeem and Rigsame were gone. So we will waste a little time and a lot of hit points getting those taken care of. Earth Maidens dealt with. Hear that heavy whooshing of the wyvern behind us. Not sure if that's the wings or if it's just mildly asthmatic. Either way, we know it's not a big fan of bats. Wyverns are one of those monsters that's just incredibly easy to hit magically. Some monsters you're better off running up and hacking at them. Wyverns have that great physical evasion though. So really, at a distance, your best bet. Just chuck bats at them. Then the Napalon comes in and ruins all our fun. Almost ruins us. My goodness, we hit the red in a hurry there. did get through, though. Rewarded with 15 experience for the Napalon and another 14 for the Wyvern. So we're certainly not going to argue at 29 experience a pop. Two more Napalon here. Got some mushrooms over that way. Over yonder. There goes our speed boost, which means our Aptorv, our physical accuracy buff, is not long for this world either. Go ahead and replenish those. And since we saw the mushroom over here and we could use a minute to regen some hit points anyway, we'll go ahead and grab said grunty foods. Links also below for the Fragment from the NetSlum YouTube channel. Sort of a hub affiliated with NetSlum, a great place to check out all of the Fragment content you could ever want to see from a bunch of great creators. Some fantastic guides for everything from setting up the telepatch to the area server, and even a fantastic one on patching your ISO to play the English language grunty food noises, which is what you're hearing here. Also happy to announce that it is the new home of a playlist just for the seasonal area server events. So if you happen to have one of those events on file and would like to submit it to a Fragment from the NetSlum, they're keeping a playlist over there, so they're all easily reachable in one spot. 3 Napalon there, and that's a bit too much firepower for us to take head-on directly. Unfortunately, running in the other direction gets us into a mess of trouble, as there's a 4th Napalon and 2 Earth Maidens. So it's time to assess our threats. Maidens being the worst because of the potential to be put to sleep. Damage is big, but you could at least heal from that if you're conscious. Now the maidens are out of the way, it's time to deal with the Napalon one by one. There goes one, second one pops up just as we get the first and critical. Level up, so bully for us, we are now level 47. Heard a treasure chest, sounded decidedly risky. And let's go ahead and pull it. I'm not going to pretend that that was up for any amount of time near me being able to say the name right. So we'll just cast Rig-Geem and Rig-Same here and then go in and check it out. Anko Kashiki, level 39. Dark Element, Twin Blade weapon. 20 attack. Decent. Let's hope that's the only one I pull. Simply because I ain't going to be able to say that name. Time to just throw all the bats at these Miasma Wyverns. Although I guess since they are close enough. Yeah, that's why I wasn't going to do the Tempest. Vax Tempest is a great ability, but the physical evasion just too much to overcome with these Wyvern. So we will cast our way through it. Took him down, picked up a nice set of Imp's Leg Mail. Probably doesn't stand more than half a foot high, but they've got some really elaborate carvings in them. Another Earth Maiden. So you know that's where we're going first. Not even sure if Earth Maiden's at a chain that has the sleep spell attached to it. Rather not find out. Well, it's not that I'd rather not find out, I'd just rather not find out firsthand. Maybe if you do know and you're watching this video, you could let me know how wrong I am to suspect them of such trickery. I'm still going to do it for the purposes of this upload. Okay, we got wyverns and an Apollon. See, our poor hit points just getting taken to task anytime we get trapped in the middle there. Adding to an effective shot clock, we get poisoned, but the Apollon's down, and that by far and away is the heavy hitter. Wyvern can certainly hit us for a bunch, but the Miasma Wyvern is about as high up as they go before they get the Death Touch effect. I don't believe Miasma Wyverns get them, and if a Miasma Wyvern does get Death Touch, then we have been damn lucky today because it hasn't happened yet. What has happened is us just slowly and methodically taking care of the portals in this field. Did not realize we had progressed as far as we have until I look up and I see just one remaining. Which was also the number of buffs we had remaining when I finished that sentence, so it's time to reapply everything, isn't it? I'm sorry, 2 more portals. I missed that one right by the dungeon there. Show off, do our fancy jumping attack. And finish the battle thus. 1 to go. Just one silly portal in this rainy, rainy field. Really good climate for growing giant mushrooms, I assume. Could just see them dotting everywhere. Got giant mushrooms, got big old mushroom there with the dead grunty inside. And while I'm looking at that, an Earth Maiden decides to cast its heart out at me. Get rid of the Earth Maiden, and now we finally get to the business of what was in the portal. It's 2 Miasma Wyverns, and that's all that's preventing us from a clean passage into the dungeon. Did I say 2? I meant 1. 1 Miasma Wyvern remains. Still picking up a quality 11 experience off these suckers, even after the level up. Win the battle, not before being poisoned. Get a little refresher of Rig's Same from that symbol there, not that we need it for much of anything. And into the mouth of the giant carnivorous mushroom we go. That's a happy face, ain't it? Fairy's Orb. And before we head in, let's go ahead and refresh our buffs. Even though we did just cast them out there a short while ago. Can't be too careful when soloing. So next milestones for Grump Ogai, my long arm, level 50. And 1,000 hit points. Both should come up roughly the same time. Wow, we had all sorts of casting going after us. We had Earth Maidens and Forest Sane. Opposing elements sharing the same portal just to drop things on our heads. Isn't that just the dream? You know what? Damn effective at it, too. I thought I saw 4 things at the outset, but I wasn't quite sure what, because one was on a different plane. Tricked the old eyes. Not just a gimmick anymore, folks. Actual physical decline in your grumpy old guy gaming. We're here for the authenticity. Do pick up 3 treasures in this room. That's nice. Even if the last one's a resurrect. Say not so fast to that Forest Sane. We will not be dealing with it the way we did last time. Yeah, we will. He got away. He already healed up most of the damage we threw his way, and now we're stuck with an Apollon in our face. There goes the Forest Sane. Now we're going to wheel back around, take care of this Earth Maiden, or at least try to, and stupidly miss her. Apollon pulls a little pick play for her. We're like, nah, nope, you're coming with us. Apollon gets us down into the yellow health. We're like, we do not appreciate you slapping us with that big gooey neon tail. Eventually get the battle done, pick up some nice summon water there, and we are down with the Cygnus. Yes, the joke never gets funny. Doesn't mean it doesn't get said. Gonna try triggering this portal. It's a treasure chest. I was going to try and trigger it and then trap them inside the insert room. And it turns out it's just some imps like male hanging out with yet another summon water. Nice paying treasures in this dungeon. Which is good because I'm going through the old elixirs. Another portal here. Got 2 Forest Sanes and a Maiden. Now everybody disperses. They're just too fast. In part because we're slightly underleveled, and in part because they are slippery, slippery cardio masters. It's not just the cast, it's the cardio. One thing they aren't is incredibly well armored. So when they take damage, they take it in full force, and eventually, once we're in his striking range, it's not long before the battle turns on our side. There's another Anko Kikishi, I believe it was. I'd look, but that seems to be ruining all the fun at this point. First floor in the books. On the shorter side for a floor, so you'd have to assume that it's also going to be on the shorter side for dungeon depth. Already see stairs down to floor 3, so you know we're not running a terrible 2. Though sometimes they're terrific 2s because you're done with them and you live. Wow. Even more of the Forest Sane. And is that a Maxwell I see? It is. Pair of Maxwell's silver hammers and all. Actually more axe than hammer. But they also have the no damage ability, which we do as well. Gave us physical accuracy down, which is easy enough to cure. Could use an antidote, or you could just use Aptorv or a Hunter's Blood, which I did there. Use a Vax Tempest. Get our damage in. We get a no damage proc, which is always nice to see. Maxwell falls like a sack of potatoes, and then Apollon shortly thereafter. Kinda. Wow, I'm a dummy. I was going to say, kind of hoping this is the dead-end route. This is clearly not the dead-end route because we already saw the stairs down. Now it's time for me to do some backtracking and start paying more attention to the mini-map. Old Forest Sane, not getting away without taking some preliminary damage. And still close enough for the kill. Now it's one-on-one with the Apollon. And we take it down, despite it putting us in critical shape. Really wanted to get through there without using an elixir, because Mage's Souls are much easier to replenish in large numbers. Anko Kikishi and the Hanged Man. Moving to this semicircle room, just giving us one Apollon, and one Apollon versus us, both at full health, is a battle we should win 11 times out of 10. Do take a bit of a skill drain, do take a bit of a drubbing on the hit points, but nothing too terrible. Gotta open up a treasure, giving us yet another Anko Kikishi, and me plenty of practice saying Anko Kikishi, just to find out that I'm stressing the wrong syllable. My biggest fear there, I went to start an attack right about the time that both Force Sane cast on me. By the time the attack animation was finishing up, the Napalon was closing in. Did manage to survive that, as well as accidentally opening a treasure chest mid-battle with the Napalon. So perhaps Lady Luck is on our side on this particular run. Wouldn't that be a fantastic change? I mean, I can't say too much. The game's treated me well overall. Blade Master is up to 90 and closing in on 500 online treasures. Isn't that a crazy number? Rig Game and Rig Same have worn off, so let's take the benefit of not having to move into the next room just yet and recast those suckers before moving in. Now we are all regenerating and everything by the time we get to the portal, which gives us just one more lone Napalon that we're taking out here in center stage. Lovely stone floor in the middle of this room. Unless I'm mistaken, there should be invisible eggs in this dungeon as well as golden eggs. I don't think I've seen any yet. What I have seen are a bunch of Anko Kikishi. Just picked up another one in that last room. Just the devil in this room, no Kathy Bates warning. Really wish I would have got one. And here's a couple Forest Sanes and Maxwells just to keep us on the old toesies. You heard it, toesies. It's a technical term. Actually, some really good defense from the Forest Saints. No matter what we did there, our combo attacks just weren't hitting as many targets as we could have. Masters of pixel by pixel manipulation of the enemy. Not so much masters at dodging our damage or inflicting lethal damage upon us, but hey, you take what you get. Big old giant skeletons buried in the walls there, and we're just going to keep moving further down. 2 floors in the books. Let's see what 3 has for us. Opening up on floor 3, fairies are investigating the map because they're nice. That's what they do for a hobby, and they are nice enough to extend this courtesy to us. We get a big old sideways T-shaped room to open up out of the gates here. Looks like a blank square room with a treasure chest, a semicircle room on the lower path. Not seeing anything one way or another to indicate which way to go yet. So I guess the first thing to do is deal with this Wyvern and Maxwell combo. Maxwell dead before I even started talking. Let's call him Jacob Marley. He was dead to begin with. We all knew that. Down goes the Wyvern. Got a couple dead ends branching off here from the bottom path, so naturally we're going to check that sucker out first. Got more Wyverns. Double your pleasure, double your fun. That's the statement of 2 Wyverns jumping out of a portal to kill you, and that was an awful rhyme. I could see why Wrigley's did a lot better with that catchphrase than me, but in all fairness, they had it first. I could go for some double mint, couldn't you? Serious question, have you ever just sat there and picked up the Wrigley Spearmint Gum and tried to notice the different taste between that and double mint? I don't think there's a person alive who could actually identify the difference between the two with their eyes closed. Just a random thought. Yet another Miasma Wyvern. Four times flashing the bat signal and we are through. Picking up some absolute zero out of that chest, moving to an absolute dead end in this room. portal opens, giving us a Forest Sane and a Maxwell. Two really squishy targets for us to ply our trade on, and just as predicted, Invisible Egg sitting on the podium. Bit of a lag there on the voice file. I guess a bunch of things going on there, so we didn't actually hear the words Invisible Egg until after I'd picked it up. Square room here, portal in the back. Once again, one Forest Sane and one Maxwell now defeated. Rare miss on a Forest Sane, and speedy little sucker just blows right by us. We're able to just catch up and snag him by the tail. There's an Invisible Egg talking very much on cue. And that's the bottom part of this dungeon taken care of, giving me hope that this is perhaps the end. But we still have the left side to check out off this side passage here. Rig Game just went down. Rig Same is about to. See, there it goes. I knows what I'm talking about. So let's reapply those, even though we did have sort of a free room coming up next, and still very much do. Let's go left, see if this is a golden egg. Nope, just an empty altar. Take our frustrations out on the skeleton and warrior's body, picking up some pure water there. Restorative there. Pure water will be helpful for item trades and offline. So picking up a second one there, always nice. This in fact is not the end, because coming just past this hallway is the stairs down to floor number 4. So at least 4 floors of fun, which is even more delightful when you finally remember which word in the sentence 4 is supposed to be. Bonus treasure chest, summoning more water into our inventory. It's that rainy, even our inventory is getting water. Floor number 4. There we go. Said it once correctly. You heard it here. Time to speed charm up, get our boosts refreshed. Got a little bending dead end coming around in back of where we came down. So we'll start with the T-shaped room in front of us, then hit the side passage and take care of all those. Floor number 4 welcomes back the Earth Maidens. We of course missed them so much. One thing we also missed was miasma wyverns poisoning us for no good reason. Make it through though. And just the nature of the battle has already taken us in the direction we wanted to go. Next room. Got an Earth Maiden and 2 Maxwells. Earth Maiden. Hips may not lie, but the feet sure told a fib. Juked us right out of the old sandals there. Did I say 2? That's 3 Maxwells. Sounded like some shenanigans were afoot. There goes the Earth Maiden. Now it's us versus 2 Maxwells, and I feel pretty good about our chances there. Do make it through, as risky treasures just keep popping up. There's a golden egg as well. Earth Beast, and double yoke. That I've already got 99 of because yeah, I never make grunties in offline mode. Really need to. Picked up the Hanged Man as well. Next room, 2 Earth Maidens. They go their separate ways and we pursue one, then the other. At least the second one made it easy on us when it noticed we weren't attacking it directly. It kinda started pursuing us. Said, hey, come back. Pick up an invisible egg that we very much don't have 99 of as of yet. And another absolute 0. Diagonal corridor. Before we hit this semicircle room in the last portal for this particular branch, gives us a Maxwell and a Wyvern. finish off the Maxwell with a Vax Tempest. I think Evac Tempest, I forget the exact level, but I want to say it's a level 3 ability. So Givac Tempest feels about right. Let's check it out. Yep, Givac Vax Tempest. The others are VVAC, Givac Vortex, and Givac Doom. My goodness, can I just not talk today? So those 4 rooms, thankfully done. Not so thankfully done are Rig Game and Rig Same. We have a bit of real estate to cover before we get to our next encounter, so we're not too worried about recasting them right away. More pure water and more stairs down, folks. You just kind of get the feeling that we may have got duped on the quick dungeon thing. One portal to go here. Still, we don't want to be catching a game over screen when we could have just re-upped our buffs and protected ourselves a little bit better. So to the final portal, floor number 4 we go, and it's 2 Earth Maidens, as ever it would be. Catching them with those guaranteed criticals. The unique gimmick of Crim's Spear, as long as it hits, it's a crit on basic attacks. 100% critical rate. That's floor number 4 in the books. Yes, I did have to adjust because I had it the opposite way in my head. Floor number 5 now. Time to reapply buffs. I know, we just did. Portal here in this sideways tea room, and yet another stairs down. This dungeon definitely looked so promising for a quick finish. Safe to say 6 floors is not a quick finish. But, you know, that's okay. I actually do like the larger dungeons. Even though this is probably not the most opportune time for me to personally have a larger scale dungeon, as my son is getting out of school early today due to all the rain. Cygnus out of the treasure chest. Now back through this side passage we go to check out the bottom of the floor. Seen at least 2 more portals here. Yep, 2 is the magic number here. Risky treasure. We have not had many portals, if any, in this dungeon so far, giving us items. And stop. Hammer time. Hammer gloves out of that chest. And the devil. Well, no risky treasure there, just risky. It's a miasma wyvern looking at us like we're chocolate coated. So we offer them a lovely sampler of various bats from around our spells. Pick up a golden egg that we once again didn't need or want. Pick up the moon. We'll take the moon. And that's floor number 5. Head into 6 and see what mischief we can get into down there. Start off with some fairies investigating ye old map, seeing yet more stairs down. Alright. Long haul today, folks. Good for the experience charts. We're already 566 into level 47. Catching up with our old friends, the Forest Sane. And they gone. As are we. Into the next room, smash a jar for fun, and the room adjacent. Portal here at the corner, giving us an Apollon and a couple Earth Maidens. Actually taking a bit of a risk here. Just ignoring the Maidens, because I really want to get an Apollon out of my hair this particular time. Got that corner, used it to our advantage, knew the Earth Maiden couldn't really run too far away from us, because we could just head it off like that. Every now and then you could use the geography to your advantage. Yet another monstrous room. This one's got a treasure chest right about there with the Hanged Man, couple guards that aren't doing much but holding a recovery drink. Perhaps that could help them. We'll never know now. Here's a Forest Sane. Let's take that. Take that friend of our enemies down before there's too much of a problem. And now there's very little to do here but hack down the rest of this Apollon, which we do with style. Pick up 13 experience, and remember not to pick up this golden egg. Do grab the devil before leaving the room and heading to the next portal, which gives us a treasure. We'll take that happily. It's the moon, and we will get to the next room before the door opens. Earth Maiden and Apollon here. Gonna follow the Earth Maiden and take it down. Apollon does not stand a very good chance of taking us out here as long as we are hitting consistently, which we do. 13 more experience to the good guy and to the final room of this floor containing a portal that I can think of. And we got all sorts of junk happening here. Thing about forecaster rooms, you really have to watch those hit points. As soon as you start hearing the enemy spells queue up, you really want to stop with the combo attacks. You also don't want to mash the circle button too much around a risky treasure, so that was a well-played room in general. One you have to not just play with your fingers, but with your brains, and the gray matter don't work so well. Neither do the digits. It's really a wonder I survive the scarce amount I do. Pick up more Gaia hands there. That's it for Rig Game and Rig Same, but that's also it for any credible threats in this floor of the dungeon. So we are heading to, can you believe it, floor number 7? Remember when we thought this was going to be a 2-floor dungeon? How wrong were we? That's alright though, as I always say, the fun is in the run. Fairy's Orb here for floor 7. Now I can say 4. Rebuffing so we aren't rebuffed. And into the first room we go, ignoring the cries of golden egg to just be picked up and appreciated. Kind of makes us jerks, but what can you do? 99 is 99. Take out this Skull Hero because those hit pretty hard. And Apollons hit pretty hard too, but we know we can survive those, and we do. Let's cast some Power Up to get our hit points back up high. And into the following room. Forest Sane takes its first dose of medicine and then just pieces out behind the Skull Hero. We come back, take it down, and now there's an Apollon saying, yo, don't ignore me. Do Apollons say yo? I'm thinking they do. They are very much Yosefs. There goes the final Forest Sane. Time to collect our loot and move on. Get some lovers. Should have probably knocked. There's the devil. And there's some absolute zero. Seeing some more steps down. So we've got at least 8 floors of fun in this one, folks. 2 Skull Heroes go down. That's 14 experience for a whole lot of damage taken and a risky treasure to boot. There goes Fortune Wire number 14, and it is once again hammer time. If you're trying to get it through your screen, I should inform you, you in fact cannot touch this. More pure water to be had. Once again, going to try and trigger the portal and then trap the monsters inside this little insert. Worked on one of them. And it worked on a Forest Saint. So that actually was the opposite of useful. But it will hold the Forest Saint as though the thing was even going to come directly after us anyway. That right there is actually a pretty damn compelling argument against trying to think strategically. That backfired on us in an abundantly profound way. We ended up isolating a caster in a spot where we couldn't hack at it, and engaging one-on-one with an Apollon through several distractions. About as badly as that could have gone, but we survived. And we'll take the W. Pick up yet more hammer gloves, because we are too legit to quit. And if you're wondering, yes, that is all the MC Hammer jokes and references I have. So if we run into more hammer gloves, I'm just going to have to start back at stop hammer time and keep going throughout. I hope you understand. Whole mess of rooms here in floor 8. My goodness, the rooms. We are heading off in every direction, and we may have made up a new one just for the sake of variety. I do see at least one dead end there on the right hand side, so I think that's where we're going to start once we get into this fantastic little 4-way hub room with all sorts of corpses around the edge and a couple treasure chests here. Yeah, down below us are the stairs down, so we'll actually ignore the right hand side because the left hand side's actually a pretty quick sort of deal. We've got a couple small rooms in a dead end corridor. First small room is just sort of a waste. It's got the ever-waving dungeon water in it. This room's got a whole bunch of urns, a bit of a storage room. Good place to pick up some consumables. Also got a couple chests, picked up a summon water there. Now it's time to move to ye old dead-end hallway. And tackle and bait shop, and there's a mimic. Actually a pair of them. That's really fantastic news, along with 2 hero skulls. Really close to dead here. Very worried about that, actually. Oh, they're deadly presence. Oh, that is the worst. They're physically tolerant. Now I'm going to be confused for no good reason. And every time I go to cast, I'm going to get confused again. Wow, is floor 8 a doozy? We're just going to try and hang on here and then cast on the opposite side of this. We got one in, and now we're confused again. Man, they're hitting us hard, too. Don't know if we'll make it through this. I honestly don't. And if we die here, what a well-earned friggin' death, huh? Not even sure if I have Knight's Bane on this character. I would like to say yes. But there's many things I would like to say right now. Oh! Well, at least we got the healing elixir in, but before I can Mage's Soul up, more confusion, more delay. At least got one Mage's Soul in, so sometime before I die of natural causes, I should be able to cast one more time. Which, as you can see, is doing all the good in the world. Hitting for 237, not the most useful thing against 2 deadly presence. Because they've both got over 2,000 hit points. Actually had a nice bit of casting going on there. Actually moved rather well through that. At least got one of the deadly presents down to half. Was saving up for the elixir that time, and that is exactly what we got off before getting mauled once again with confusion, delay, and deadly presence abound. Now this is a problem because we're at half health, and we got confused again. Really just gotta hope that the timer runs out on this before the timer runs out on us. My goodness, was that close. Whew. You could tell it was close because there was actually expression in my voice. There was emotion. And we know that's not getting there on accident. I gotta work for it. Just keep hammering away at the old action buttons. Got them both low. Can we finish the job? Mini marathon of a room here. At least got the elixir in, which was good because I sort of mistimed it by a fraction of a second and had to go back and re-hit it. That time I really felt I should have been able to get the Mage's Soul in. That was a little unfair. But you deal with what you gotta deal with, right? That is the 4th time in a row that happened. Got the elixir off, not the Mage's Soul. Now this is getting to be a bit on the BS side. Finally! Finally letting us do a thing. Now that all of our speed charms, our buffs, everything is gone, all we have is a cell phone to talk into real softly like Liam Neeson. We don't even have a very particular set of skills. Just gonna keep hammering away at the deadly presence. Must be a lot of tape on the wrapping, you know? Just can't get through this shit. There, they finally won. They wore me down, I'm swearing. Big surprise. There it is, more emergency warnings in the background. And there finally goes a deadly present. Probably going to be 20% of the upload right there, this battle. Maybe more if I don't, you know, just shut it and finish this deadly present off. There we go. And fittingly, we're stuck confused here. Hey. So yeah, our introduction to Deadly Presence is a 2-off right away, and now I'm looking for spells to hit a bit more efficiently than Ormeani Cruise. So it's time to turn off the bat signal. See what else we've got going on here. Orjuk Zot, Givak Cruise, Givak Dawn. Yeah, I guess Orjuk Zot's about as good as we got. So much for that being the short path, huh? Time to get Rigseam and Riggeem and Rigsame. Wow, can't tell those deadly presents threw me for a fucking loop, can ya? Pick up an antidote to replenish what the miasma wyverns have been dinking and dunking out of us all this time. There's a restorative. Heard an invisible egg behind us. We'll get another chance to get it down the road here. Here's 2 forests saying to say, hey, no hard feelings. The dungeon clearly doesn't hate us. It just wants to populate itself with things that try to kill us. 14 experience there, and now let's pick up this treasure chest. Yet more sickness. We will take them in sickness and in health. See what I did there? It also wasn't funny. Next portal up has the dreaded Sleeping Blue Mimic, otherwise known as Risky Treasure, grabbing some stone graves there, which we know level 3 grandpas won't touch for the life of them. More treasure chests abound here, get the devil there. Over here we pick up the Cygnus. And up here we have one more chest, but there's a portal in front of it with yet another treasure chest. Absolute zero in both of those, so I guess it was all for naught. One more portal separating us from the stairs down to floor number 9, and at this point I would be disappointed if it didn't have 1138 mimics in it. That's slightly impossible and would probably crash my computer and make it say terrible things on its way to a fiery, smoky death. So instead we just get a treasure chest. It's got the Fool in it, so at least that's worth a chuckle. Floor 8 down, and really only one challenging battle, but my goodness, what a challenging battle it was. Floor number 9 now. Would not have been disappointed if that led us straight to the treasure, but instead we get a portal here. Didn't re-up our, did not re-up our buffs at all, which probably will hurt us, as we're up against 3 deadly presents here. Not 1, not 2, not 11, but 3. Which means that for the life of us, we are not going to get a spell off. We will die here, it's just a matter of waiting for my fingers to slip. Well, we accidentally did get a cast off here. Unfortunately, our spell is very long and takes forever to cast. At least damaged all of them. There's that. Fighting mimics in this manner is like waiting in line anywhere. You don't want to do it, and you could stop at any point, and yet here you are, thinking of all the things you'd rather be doing. Thought the world was going to be nice to us there. We got 2 castings off. I guess that's as nice as it was going to be. That time we almost got to cast again, and instead just used another healing elixir and another mage's soul. And we're confused again. Because why wouldn't we be confused again? Once again confused, and that time as I literally hit the buttons for the cast, so I guess I was just a little too slow for that to matter. There we go, finally got a spell off. And now we're confused once more. One more cast in the books, and we've got tangible damage showing on all 3. Game of inches. Except for our health, which is getting whittled down like no problem. More confusion to be had, more delay to be expected. More hit points of ours getting absolutely shredded because we're doing nothing but blindly following things that are trying to kill us. At least they were nice enough to hold off till the end of that long-ass spell. Unfortunately, there goes our speed charm, so quick escapes are no longer happening, and we just got confused, waiting for confusion to wear off. That is going to be a game over for us, and that's going to be a level down that we lost. Thank goodness that battle is over. I will happily accept that. Gonna run for my level 47 sometime in the near future. In the meantime, this has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming. Wishing you well wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Take care, and we'll see you around.